The Golden State Authority is back in the house. 10 questions every California buyer is asking now. Bankruptcy, credit scores, co-signers, 1 to 4 units, seller credit. 10 clear answers in 10 minutes. Part 3 of the Mortgage Spotlight starts right now. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Power Is Now Mortgage Spotlight. My name is Eric Frazier. Today is part 3 of a 4-part series with the Golden State Finance Authority on the Platinum Select Homebuyer Assistance Program. And right now, the Golden State Finance Authority is running a special promotion during National Homeownership Month that opens up down payment assistance gift funds to every qualifying California home buyer for 60 days. With us today is Carolyn Sunseri, who is the Director of Marketing and Stakeholder Relations, to talk about the program. Carolyn, welcome back. Let's get started. 10 questions, rapid fire. Let's go. Question number 1. Do I have to be a first-time home buyer?
This is one of my favorite questions. No, you do not have to be a first-time home buyer to qualify for homebuyer assistance through the GSFA Platinum program. In fact, if you've owned a home in the past or even today, you're still eligible as long as you meet the credit, income, and property guidelines, and you're looking to buy a home that you're going to be moving into as your primary residence.
Now, Carolyn, I know the next question is credit. Everybody's dealing with some type of credit issue. Do you have to have perfect credit? What is the minimum FICO score?
For a GSFA Platinum, 640 is the minimum FICO on most loan types. It can change a little bit. If you're buying a manufactured house, it's going to be 660 or a HUD Section 184 mortgage loan. We follow the standard underwriting guidelines based on the first mortgage type. So the required credit score can be much more flexible than most people think, and it even allows for less than perfect credit.
So, Carolyn, what about income limits? A lot of people think that, down payment assistance for low to moderate income, and they make too much money.
They do, and they even self-diagnose themselves out of looking into homebuyer assistance sometimes because they think they can't qualify just based on income limits.
Right.
We do have some income limits on some of our mortgage loans, but they're a lot more flexible than people think. There are 2 tiers. At 80% of the area median income or below, the home buyer will get the best pricing and in some cases some reduced mortgage insurance. Above 80% of the area median income can still qualify up to our maximum limits. In Placer County, for example, those are $218,000. In Solano County, $224,280. In San Joaquin County, $196,000. And here in Sacramento, where our administration office is located, at above 80%, that income limit is over $218,000. These limits are working family income.
Now, Carolyn, these are income limits for conventional loans. There is no income limit for FHA, right? You just referred to the FHA underwriting guidelines, but there's no income limits. And then when I look down here in Southern California, where we're based, San Bernardino County is $195,000. Riverside County is $196,500 as well. They're both the same, San Bernardino and Riverside, but LA is $204,300. Now, we all know you can get more property in San Bernardino and Riverside than you can in LA in that almost 200,000 range in income. But that's pretty significant in terms of the ability to take advantage of down payment, making almost $200 or a little about $200,000 a year.
Yes, very flexible. Low and moderate income families can qualify for homebuyer assistance.
So, Carolyn, let's talk about 2 to 4 unit properties. In fact, a lot of people don't even know that as a first-time homebuyer, you can buy a 2 to 4 unit property.
Yes, you can. And when we're talking about multiple unit properties, sometimes people are more familiar with the terms duplex or fourplex. These are properties that have multiple units where you're going to be living in one of the units and then maybe renting out the other units. And we do allow multiple unit properties with the Platinum program as long as one of those units is your primary residence. In some cases, the rental income from the additional units can help you qualify for the purchase of the property itself.
Carolyn, that truly is a strategy that I wish more Californians would take advantage of. It really is a game changer to be able to live in one of the units, because you have to live there, right? And then be able to use the rent from the other units to help cover the mortgage payment. So it is a game changer. Folks, take advantage of that. Now, what about bankruptcy? Now, really, that kind of speaks to what we were talking about earlier in terms of credit, FICO scores, but bankruptcies, we're seeing a rise in bankruptcies actually right now.
Yeah, it's not something anybody wants to have to go through, but sometimes this is reality. And a borrower can be eligible to buy a home again in as little as 3 years after a Chapter 7 bankruptcy discharge when they're working with an FHA mortgage loan. It's generally more flexible than the conventional guidelines on bankruptcy. You want to talk to your participating lender about your specific situation, though. Don't just assume you're not going to qualify for a mortgage loan or for homebuyer assistance because you've gone through something like a bankruptcy.
You're absolutely right. People should not self-qualify. Get with an expert. Work with a participating lender with the Golden State Finance Authority. Allow them to diagnose your situation. You might be surprised that even after a bankruptcy or even a foreclosure, enough time may have gone by where you can qualify to buy a home. So, Carolyn, 10 questions, 10 minutes. We are number 6 right now. Let's talk about co-signers. Not everybody makes enough income and they need help.
Yes, non-occupant co-signers, which is someone who's going to co-sign on the mortgage loan with you, but they're not going to be living in the property. That is still allowed if they go with an FHA loan. For example, a parent might be able to co-sign a loan for you and help you while not living in the home. The income of a co-signer can help you qualify.
Wow. I mean, that is really a game changer. So mom or dad, sister or brother can help you qualify. And one thing I do know, Carolyn, is that, you have to have the credit, right? A co-signer can't help you on credit. They can only help you on income, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. So, folks, take advantage of that great opportunity. And that was number 6. Number 7, what about seller credit? Because, you need your down payment and closing costs, and that adds up to, 6.5% to 7%. What about seller credit?
So seller credits are usually when the seller of the property is willing to help out with some of the closing costs. And we do allow seller credits on standard FHA, VA, and conventional loans up to the program limits. These credits can be combined with the homebuyer assistance that GSFA provides, and that can significantly reduce the amount of money that you need in order to close on the mortgage loan. Your lender is going to help you understand what's possible, and your lender and real estate agent can help negotiate these credits as part of your home purchase.
This is really important, folks. You need to have an agent that can negotiate. Right. Get the seller to stack it, right? You got your down payment assistance and you have your closing costs. That could result in having to bring in very little money, maybe no money at all. Carolyn, let's transition now for question number 8 to a scenario. $475,000. What can we do there?
Well, that's a good estimate for a median home price in counties like San Joaquin, some other Northern California counties, and is a little bit more doable sometimes for families. So we'll talk about a $475,000 purchase price in San Joaquin County in Northern California, and a borrower utilizing an FHA mortgage loan and the Platinum Select Homebuyer Assistance. GSFA can provide up to $23,334 in that instance, and of that, $7,000 is a gift that never has to be repaid under this Platinum Select promotion. The buyer's cash to close, what they need to bring to close on that mortgage loan, drops from $30,334 to just about $7,000.
Carolyn, that's really incredible. What a game changer. I just can't even imagine someone buying their first home in San Joaquin County, 475,000. They're looking at 30 grand because of you now. They only have to come up with 7 grand. That means buying a house right now as opposed to later. That's a conversation that anyone who is renting right now needs to have with their family, with their spouse. Get in now. So, Carolyn, for question number 9, we're almost done, folks. Number 9, how do you get started on this program if you're listening and hearing about it for the first time?
Well, we'll start with who is providing this program. It's provided through GSFA, but we don't actually do the lending and the underwriting of the mortgage loan. We rely on a group of participating lenders. We don't lend the money directly. So the buyer has to work with one of the participating lenders that we've approved to offer these programs and access our homebuyer assistance. You as the buyer, you go to our website, gsfahome.org, and you use the Find a Lender tool right there on the homepage, and then choose a lender that does these programs in your area. And it doesn't even need to be someone that's local to you, meaning their office is in your local area, just that they do mortgage loans either statewide or loans in your county. From there, the lender is going to review your credit, your income, talk to you about the whole process. And when you're ready, they're going to lock in the interest rate on your first mortgage, and they're going to get a commitment letter from GSFA for those assistance funds. But those loans have to be locked between May 1st and June 30th to take advantage of this promotion right now, where a portion of the assistance that we provide is a gift that never has to be repaid.
One website, folks. Go to Golden State Finance Authority, gsfahome.org. One website, one tool, one phone call with a lender, a participating lender, and that's how you get started. And you should get started right away because time is of the essence. Carolyn, you mentioned this program began May 1st, ends June 30th. So when do I have to lock to ensure that I can take advantage of this money?
So this promotion is giving those gift funds to people regardless of what their occupation is. That's what the promotion is really doing. It's extending those gift funds out to everyone that can qualify for the program. But it closes on June 30th, which means you have to lock in the mortgage loan rate and get that commitment letter for the assistance funds by June 30th to qualify for the promotion. Keep in mind that the loan process itself takes time. There's a pre-approval stage. There's credit review. You have to get into contract on a property. So starting early is super important. A buyer reaching out really close to the deadline at the end of June is going to struggle with trying to get locked in and get access to those gift funds. Now, we have homebuyer assistance, and they'll be able to access that. But if they want to access a portion of the assistance as gift funds, they need to get in a conversation with the lender now and get started so that you'll be able to lock in that mortgage loan by June 30th.
Well, there you have it, folks. The power is now. Carolyn stated mid-May is when you need to get started. Why? Because June 30th is it. It's gone. And what that means is that if you're not employed in one of these selected occupations, you won't be eligible for that portion of the down payment to be a gift. And that's, it could be life-changing for you. It could, at least it'll help you get in now as opposed to later. So the power is now to act. And the Golden State Finance Authority, man, they've been at this for 30 years. If you don't, make the deadline, don't worry. They still have other programs, the Platinum program itself, and other programs to help you get into a home now. Carolyn, thank you again for joining us here on the Powers Now Mortgage Spotlight to talk about this special promotion that ends June 30th. Any final words or comments you have before we move on to part number 4?
Just visit that website, gsfahome.org, click on the button for Find a Lender, contact someone today, and at least start the conversation. You're not under any obligation to move forward, but without information, you're not even going to be able to get started.
Well, there you have it, folks. Carolyn Sunseri, Director of Marketing and Stakeholder Relations with the Golden State Finance Authority. We just concluded part 3 of this special promotion about the Golden State Platinum Select program. Thank you again, Carolyn Sunseri, Director of Marketing and Stakeholder Relations with the Golden State Finance Authority. Folks, we just ended part 3, and next up is part 4. And part 4 is our flagship program, our flagship show, if you will, where we're going to talk about how down payment assistance with the Golden State Finance Authority is really a game changer for a lot of Californians. We're going to get into all the requirements you need to be aware of. And so you definitely want to tune in for that episode coming up next, part 4. For those of you who are watching for the first time, welcome to The Power Is Now. We are leading the conversation about real estate. And I love the fact that all of our content is about helping you buy a home, sell a home, invest in real estate, and, improve your net worth as it relates to real estate. And so please share the link. If you're watching us right now on any social media channel, The Power Is Now, or you're watching us on Apple or Roku or Fire TV, any streaming platforms, or you're listening to the podcast, share this information with someone you know who is thinking about buying a home. And if they own a home already, as you may have learned in part 2, you don't even have to be a first-time home buyer. They can use this program to buy a home again. But thank you for watching. Remember, we are at our best and we maximize our success when we act now. The power is now. Thank you for watching.